Okay, welcome back to the third installment of this MAN TGE Volkswagen Crafter repair. Things have moved on slightly. It looks a lot more than it actually is. A lot of this is just temporarily held together by clamps and screws. But bolted the bracket back up for the bumper and the radiators. They bolted straight up, no problem. You can see where that bottom subframe is bent. There's a gap here. This is a bolt-on part, but with the problem with the hole, we're just going to change the whole subframe anyway. So this is just held on with screws at the moment. The inner piece is welded, only tacked in place, ready, trying to get everything lined up. So lines up fairly well this side. Still needs a little bit of adjustment, but it's getting there. And this side the same, then all lines up fairly well. Strange, it seems very short here, but it also seems short there, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Needs a bit more of adjustment. Got lucky with the bonnet and the wing, picked those up in the right colour and in good condition. A lot of times you buy second-hand panels, even in the right colour, they generally need paintwork because where they've been taken off and stored in the scrapyards and not the most careful of people, and they end up with dings and dents all over them. But I think I was fairly lucky with these. I don't think they've been off the van for very long, so there's no real marks on them other than the odd scrape and bits and pieces. They're going to be painted anyway, but it's not going to be full of filler, which is the main thing. Speaking of parts, prices at the moment, I'm not sure what it's like in the rest of the Europe or the rest of the world even, but here in the UK at the moment things are a bit bonkers parts wise. So I got lucky with the bonnet and the wing. The bonnet I paid $240 for, brand new it's $360 plus VAT. So that was a good saving, plus it's painted on the inside, which is nice because if you've ever painted a bonnet on the inside, it's a horrible job just rubbing it down. The wing I paid $150 for, which doesn't sound like such a good deal on the surface because a brand new wing from MAN is $124 plus VAT, so it's about the same price. But again, this one's painted, it's in good condition. Now, other than a dent up here where this is bonded on to the A panel, and when they pull it off it's got dent, but the rest of it is in good condition. But when you buy it brand new, it only comes to here. This is a separate piece, and mine was bent. And also that plastic trim that's on the floor there, that clips onto here, again that's the one off mine and it's broken. This one had a complete one in good condition, so overall slightly better deal because less work and more parts. So those bits are probably £20-30 each, so it certainly would have added up. But the bumper bracket and the radiator support panel, absolutely crazy radiators. And I bought this one, I think was on eBay. There's one of these on eBay at the moment for 400 and something pound, nearly £450. That's £290 plus VAT, brand new from MAN. Now MAN prices are slightly cheaper than Volkswagen's, and by Volkswagen's I mean TPS, which is their trade parts. But even TPS aren't as cheap as MAN, even though they are the same parts. So yeah, that was $290 plus VAT. This radiator support panel, big piece of plastic. There's a guy on eBay selling one for £340, I believe, and brand new from MAN, that's £190 plus VAT. I mean, it is just crazy. The radiators, there's two radiators on this car, low pressure and high pressure radiators. Again, same place that's selling the core is selling the radiators for $345 each. But brand new from MAN, one was 170 or 180 plus VAT, and the other one was about 140 plus VAT. So yeah, definitely worth checking out the prices. I mean, the bonnet I had a good deal on. It was £100 cheaper, but I know there's bonnets on eBay at the moment for £800, which is just bonkers. Nobody's going to pay £800 for a second-hand bonnet when a brand new one is $360 plus VAT. But people don't always check, and either they just want to keep the stock, or they just, I don't know, they're not really interested in selling them. But realistically, that's just crazy. So if you are doing a rebuild, make sure you do check out prices, because it's going to make a massive difference. So pretty much all lined up now. So the next job now will be to, I'd leave the core support back on now and leave all that there. I'll just concentrate on this inner wing now, because it's all pretty much where I need it. I'll take the wing back off, take all the panels back off, clean everything up, mark where it's going to be welded, clean up any paint so that we get a nice weld, and get to welding that all back on. So that's going to be the next part, but we are definitely getting there slowly. It's looking good, so bring you back in a bit. Before we go any further forward, I thought we'd go back and have a quick look at the time-lapse videos and the explanation of how we got to this point. If you are enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe. It does really help the channel grow a bit, and helps us put this on the map. So hopefully there'll be a lot more videos to come as I get better at editing and putting things together. At the moment I'm just seem to be recording a lot and struggling to make any sense of it afterwards. Hopefully I will get better at all this. But we'll do this quick time lapse of pulling the front end, and then give you some explanation of what we did to get to the point where we're at now. Thank you very much. Okay, so bringing you in for a bit of an update. Most of this is all pulled out now. So starting off with that seam that had opened up down here, just by pulling this out, pull that square. This is all flatter. Let's push that back out. That seam that's opened up down here, that just needs squaring up. It's actually quite loose, so that'll go in, no problem. The inner wing side of it, it's all fairly square, all these seams. This one's obviously going to be replaced, this one's just shut up once it's all been pushed back out. This box section didn't want to move too much, it's quite strong. So there's no point pulling too hard on it because it could do more harm than good. But we'll just leave that as it is now. It's mostly fairly square. So this outer wing, or inner wing, but the outer part of it, the new part is down here. Now this piece here goes behind this A-pillar, so we're not going to take all that apart. Basically we should be joining it probably down here. So this hole here, there's that one there. So we can use reference points, this one, this hole, these mounts. So they basically cut this down here, line this up. Attach it here where it's spot welded. And that'll be easy enough. Then this one again will be cut where it's square. And the new piece welded in. And then this one will just be drilled out and replaced. So that'll be the next job. The skull panel's off, just to allow access to this panel here. This plastic skull panel just slips in this joint here and then clips on here and here. Easy enough to remove. Windscreen obviously needs to be replaced. Get one of those on order. So the next job now will be drill out this panel and then get ready to start measuring up for these where they're going to be joined. So it's getting there slowly. Once that's done, I do need this panel here, which is a wing mount. It's not part of that inner wing, so it welds onto it. I haven't actually ordered that yet, so I shall bring it back once got a bit more. Okay, so we got the first panel, or first piece of a panel into position. This is that inner box section for the inner wing. So it's completely flat along the top, which is just makes life easier. Curved panels are difficult to work with, but if you've got a nice straight panel, that's easy. So what I've done is got this piece of angle iron, which is nice and flat. There's two holes. This is the piece that was cut off that one, so that would go there effectively. It has that 10mm hole there, so that 10mm hole is that bolt there. So that one's originally on the car, and we know that's in the right place. None of this had moved back here, so that's okay. So while this was all in one piece, I made that piece of angle iron, welded that other bolt on down there. And then this piece in the middle here is about a 7mm hole in here. Didn't have anything that would ideal nice tight fit, so I used this old nail punch. It's ideal because it's tapered, it's got a tapered shank on it. So we pushed that in there and welded it in. It gives it a nice register, and we know that these 3 holes are the right distance apart, and when it's all bolted down it's all nice and flat. All we need to check then is that this plane along here is nice and flat as well. But we can tack that in, get rid of the clamps, and then should be able to measure it, make sure everything's in the right place. Assuming that's all okay, we can have a look at this down here then. I've already had a bit of a play about with this panel marked down here where it should go. The seam sealer is the original. This gap needs to be pulled together, which basically I'll put a nut and bolt through that and tighten it all in. Once that's in, measure all this gap. This is bent out slightly, but that's just a case of tapping that back. So get this tacked in, probably get that tacked in then, and then we can have a look at the main part of this inner wing. Start fitting that up for squareness, get measuring, make sure it's in the right place. Assuming that goes okay, then take it all apart again and then fully weld these 2. Once they're fully welded, put this panel back on, square it all back up again, and then fully weld it into place. So that'll be the next job. So it's coming on slowly, getting there. See you soon. We'll get there.